Hello and welcome to a brand new game. I'm Bring Stabbity, the stabbiest Stabbity that ever hurt his back, and is in a shit ton of pain from even the tiniest of movements. Fortunately, I'm doing much better than I was doing earlier, because I was stuck lying on the floor for about 50 hours before I could move. Anyway, I had this game recommended to me by Nweis, who just so happens to be on stream with me. Nweis, please introduce yourself and this game for us.
Hello, I'm Nweis, the Nweis here. And this is the Spirit Engine 2, which is a game I have deeply loved for quite some time now. It has simple but charming art, which you can see a little bit of it on this title screen here. Excellent music, innovative gameplay in its combat system, and a well-written story that Mark Pay, the person who's responsible for basically all of this game, obviously deeply cared about, combined with some clever storytelling tricks that actually allow this story to work with a variable party that you choose in the beginning of the game. But we'll get more into that as we go on. And this is Bring Stabbity's first time playing, so if he needs gameplay pointers, I'll be there to point them out since I know this game pretty well.
And that is, in my opinion, the best way to do something like this. Okay, let me hop quickly into options. Yeah, everything here looks good. I do appreciate that it does give you the option to display tutorial, which I absolutely am going to use because I'm coming in blind, but it's something useful for people that, like Nweis, that have played the game for ages, don't need it on a replay. Or you could say, well, I played through it a bunch of times and oops, I forgot all the controls. Well, let's turn it back on and refresh myself. Okay, let's start the game. Now, okay, here we go. Before starting a new game, you'll need to choose the characters whose journey you'll follow. There are 3 character slots, each with 3 candidates. Each candidate can fulfill one of 3 basic roles in combat: Knight, Musketeer, or Priest. It is advisable to have one of each type in your group so that you are prepared for all eventualities. Click on a portrait to select a character. If you can't decide who you'd like to take, just stick with the 3 initially selected. Click continue when you're ready.
Incidentally, I'd like to add, they're suggesting it's nice to have one of each. That's certainly true. On a slightly more advanced level, I would say what you want to do is take exactly 1 priest, but if you want to double up on musketeers or knights, that's actually quite doable.
Okay, so let's go through a little bit of the character list here. What the default party is
it's actually a random. This isn't the default party. They randomize the choices when you open the screen.
Oh, okay, that I didn't know. See, that's what we have an expert for. And let's go back. Start game. Maybe it gets randomized earlier. Maybe it gets randomized when you launch the game.
Might be.
Okay, whatever, that's fine. In that case, let's just go
across.
Let's go across. So, yeah. For our first character, we have an option of Kaltos Stern, mercenary, age 31. Falling into the underworld of organized crime at a young age. Only collusion, corruption, and undeserved good fortune have kept Kaltos from a significant period behind bars. Now he has turned his back on the life that cost him his marriage, and is trying to make ends meet as a sword for hire, an increasingly difficult prospect in a world reigned by gunpowder. Interesting. Ione, unemployed, age unrecorded. Ione appears to be a loner by choice, traveling the quiet back roads of western Loreftane Sorry, what was that? Loreftane, late at night, and conversing only when absolutely necessary. This is perhaps for the best. Arrogant, selfish, neurotic, and oddly unfamiliar with local Lorefte's custom, Ione makes poor company at the best of times. Her tattered cloak hides a pair of forlorn, molting brown wings from curious eyes. Ooh, that is interesting. And the final option, Mauritius Johann Weiss. Hey! We got a connection there with you. Mauritius has spent most of his uneventful life as a priest, deep in study, until the clergy of the Great Library at Preston decided that the reassignment would do him and everyone else there a world of good. There's somewhere he really ought to be right now, but in no hurry to arrive into his new life, Mauritius has wandered somewhat astray. Now, spoiler option, when Nweis reached out to me and showed, hey, here's the title screen. I bet you're gonna pick the Catholic priest as your choice. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. So, Mauritius is the first person to be selected for the party. Okay. So, that means that basically we've ruled out Ang, and we've ruled out Mysterious Assassin. But we'll get to them in a second. So, for character 2, we have Ferwin Drake Talbot III. Not sure if it's Talbot or Talbot. I'm probably going to stick with Talbot for now. Knight in training, age 23. The only son of Aemon and
Aetlia.
Aetlia. Yeah. So I guess
I
maybe
think it's actually
Eamon and Aetlia, Talbot, and heir to the Talbot estate. Ferwin is a cheerful and enthusiastic young man, struggling with the weight of his parents' expectations. Betrothed to Eileen, Forsyth, and training hard for the knighthood that 3 previous generations of Talbots have failed to achieve. Ferwin secretly dreams of a career elsewhere, and a life spent with his sweetheart Marie, the waitress to whom he writes daily.
Doesn't he look like just the most wholesome person ever?
He does. A little less so on his sprite, but on here, absolutely.
His bio is also super wholesome.
Oh
really.
yeah. He may be a little bit too wholesome for something awful. Charlotte Kay, self-employed, age 27. Drifting from one noisy tavern to another, Charlotte's brash and sunny disposition hides a deep longing for an entirely different life, one of certainty and commitment that she seems unable to find. She appears to be comfortably well off, despite having no apparent source of income, and for some reason chooses to avoid setting foot in larger towns and cities. Alright. And Pianpao Sai, permitted visitor, age 25. He most certainly is not the Avatar. A wide-eyed visitor from the tiny neighboring state of Sakeda, Pianpao has been granted temporary access to Lereftain to take part in his journey, the rite of passage that all Sakadian priests must undertake before gaining their title. Pianpao's charming demeanor and disarming curiosity have served him well in his travels across a country highly suspicious of foreigners. One thing that I noticed, take a look at his smile. Take a look at her smile. And take a look at his smile. They reused the smile. Or he, Mark Pay reused the smile because this was done by one person. Oh. With just a tiny bit of shading to match skin color. Anyway, for our second character, I'll be sticking with Ferwin because, like Nweis said, the guy is so wholesome that it hurts. Which of course means by default we already know who I'm selecting for character 3, but I'm still going to go through the list. Let's see what they are. Denver Halterbrook, retired guardsman, age 76. An elderly and distinguished member of the now defunct Dragon Guard. Denver retired 14 years ago, but with no family to go home to and no other professional skills, he has found himself unable to put down his sword and abandon the only life he has ever known. Relying on his state pension and the kindness of strangers, Denver has been walking the back roads of Lereftain and helping those who cannot help themselves, trying to outrun and outfight his advancing age. Yeah, I'm not so sold on a 76-year-old knight. Just seems a little old.
Yeah, it would be tough to maintain your fitness for the...
Yeah, like, I mean, I understand Alexander the Great had a 70-something-year-old general that was charging with him into battle, but, you know, there's a difference between being a general and being a knight. And especially like a knight for hire working by himself. Anyway, the person that we know we're going to be taking, Grace Winters, retired Army officer, age 51. Wife of local councilor Jeremiah Winters and mother of 3. Grace is widely known across Loreftane as the first female officer to rise to the rank of general. As one of the 3 senior commanders directing the military response to the Amaran uprising of 726, she is reviled in Amara itself and hailed as a hero to the rest of the Union. Troubled by her role in the conflict, Grace later resigned and now spends her time supporting her husband and lecturing on security matters in various academic institutions. An intellectual. And this weird guy. Enshado and Seku. Unemployed. Age unrecorded. Amiable, educated, intelligent, and well-trained as a priest. Not things I would have gathered. And Shadun... Nevertheless? Makes for unsettling company. That is true. He sometimes appears nervous and conflicted, and refuses to remove his blank mask or bandages. Whatever is troubling him, he remains an indispensable companion.
He's a giant freak.
Yes, he is, and I am not touching that guy with a 10-foot pole. So, here is our party. Mauritius is our priest, Furwin is our strapping young knight, and Grace is the experienced musketeer. So, off we go. Finally, you need to select a difficulty. First time playing, select normal. I'll take that. Difficulty unlocked. I think that works well for me. Normal unlocked. Absurd can't be selected. I'm assuming can't be selected until we beat the game once, correct?
I actually have beat the game multiple times on normal, and Absurd has never unlocked. I assume it probably unlocks if you beat the game on hard locked.
That would make sense.
I don't really know.
Okay. Anyway, I'm honestly not here for the challenge. I'm more here for the story, because I hear it's very heartfelt. Game by Mark Pay. Now that is very true. It's like almost entirely him. Soundtrack by Josh Welchel. And there you go, that's the credits.
Yes.
Proudly presenting Trust and Wisdom, Live in Peace. Ooh, I like that. The Spirit Engine 2.
It's incidentally unrelated story-wise to the Spirit Engine 1, so don't worry about having missed the first game. It's also better both in story and gameplay, so...
Cool. So, in other words, no need to go back and play the original. Okay, Chapter 1. Well, original. The prequel, I guess, kind of, sort of. Chapter 1.
The first game.
Lights in the Forest. Yeah, the first game. That's the best way of putting it. Prosperity. I don't know. Those tentacles seem a little less trustworthy. I've been walking all night, and I'm still a long way from town. I was in no hurry to arrive, but I'm beginning to wonder if I should fear never arriving at all. With every passing minute, the stagecoach appears to have been the safer option. Who knows what dangers lurk in these dark woods, waiting to prey on lonely travelers like myself. There's something lying on the road ahead. It's hard to see in this light, but it looks like a person. A drunken vagrant, perhaps? Or a bandit? Hello? Who's there? Can you hear me? Don't try anything foolish now. I'm just a humble priest. Please help me. Ardal Trisgelic. Oh, dear merciful Lord. The wounds are deep, and there's so much blood. I cannot do anything here. You are in his hands now. I can only pray that your passing is swift and painless. Who did this to you? They found us. 3 of them. We ran, but... Oh God, the children. I tried to hold them off, but they were too fast. Please, I beg you, you have to... Please, sir, you must try and stay calm. What children? He's gone. And so he walks the final steps upon the path we all must tread when our time is through. The lost child returns at his end to the loving embrace of the Lord. Let none mourn him, for he dwells now upon light eternal. May the Lord pardon you whatever sins or faults you have committed in this life. May he take you gently by the hand and lead you from this place to your salvation. That is all I can do for now. It looks like my fears were justified. The shadows of these woods hide murderous intent, and I am out here alone with nothing but my staff to protect me. I should be gone from here, lest the perpetrators of this wicked crime return. By God, I've no intention of sharing this fellow's fate. I can see lamplights in the distance. A village, perhaps? I can find shelter there and return in the safety of daylight to bury this unfortunate soul. Well, starting off... Okay, that's definitely a house.
On the back of some giant creature.
Yeah. Looks like it's gonna just crawl away. Looks like a giant caterpillar or something. And how many others were with him?
Just the 2 children. They fled east along the road, and the masked man pursued them. Such an awful spectacle. They've only been traveling with us for a few weeks. They seem such kind and gentle folk.
He was their father? No, I'm the father here. Oh, priest jokes.
I don't think so. A guardian, perhaps. They didn't speak much about themselves. In fact, they didn't speak much at all. It all happened so fast, and there was nothing we could do to protect them. The men have broken open the weapons chests and gone out into the woods with a search party. But I fear they will find only the worst. We are a peaceful, simple community, ill-equipped to defend ourselves.
Hello, I think I may have found your man. His body lies some 200 feet back down the road. Alone, though, I saw no sign of any others. Then there is still hope. We 3 should get out there immediately and join the search. We 3? You misunderstand, sir. I am but a humble priest, weary from a day on his feet. The woods are dark, dangerous, and it appears full of assassins. It would be prudent to remain here until dawn and begin our search in better light. The Lord watches over us all. If it is his will that the children are to survive the night, then they shall. We can offer them our prayers from the safety of the village lights. You can't seriously be suggesting that we leave them out there. There's more than enough prayer to go around here, Father. It's able-bodied men that we're short of. Please, join us. We need all the help we can get. We can't delay any longer. There are 3 assassins, 2 children, and we've already wasted precious time. I will search the woods south of the road. You 2 take the north. I'm frightened, Mommy. Are Isabel and Eli going to die? Eli?
Yeah.
No, of course not, sweetie. These brave heroes are going to go out into the forest and save them. Aren't you? Yes, of course, my good woman. Offer prayers in our absence and we shall undoubtedly be successful. Bit of resignation I sense in his voice.
Thank you. Please be careful out there. There is another stranger searching north of the road. A smartly dressed woman who is staying with us for the night. You may run into her.
Yeah, Ferwin has a lot more energy here than Mauritius.
Yeah.
Please. Hey, what do you know? I commented on the right thing. Please, could we stop for a moment? I'm not as young as I used to be, and I can't keep up this pace. Of course, Father. That might be a good idea. It's dark, and it wouldn't hurt to stop and get our bearings. I'm glad to have company out here. For a moment back there, I actually thought you were going to refuse to help. I was. What the Lord wishes to pass shall pass. I'm neither inclined nor particularly able to assist. At this rate, we're going to get ourselves killed out here, too. But perhaps the Lord will look kindly upon my bravery tonight. These last few weeks, I feel as though I've not been on the best of terms with him. Are you a God-fearing man? I followed my parents to church and I pray each night, Father, but I wouldn't say I fear him. I don't believe his nature to be vindictive. I'm restraining a rant on the definition of the fear of the Lord. We should make introductions. I'm Furwin. Have you heard of Talbot and Staple, the merchandisers? My father is joint owner. You are... Mauritius Johann Weiss. Pleased to meet you. You're in the priest business, eh? What are you doing out here? Ooh, that's just begging for an indulgence joke. Priest business.
Yes. Well, you'll indulge me not to, please.
Very well. Priesthood is not a business. It is a calling. And right now I'm rather between duties. I should be en route to my next parish, Tawny Edge. It's a small town 5 days east of here. You don't sound too happy about the prospect, Father. What's bothering you about Tawny Edge? Taweni? Taweni? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the town. Rolling green hills, fields of golden wheat, long warm summers. It's the people that I can't abide. Thousands of dirty, needy, demanding people. Father, could I speak with you? Father, I have a confession to make. Father, I need your help. Everybody wants something from you when you wear these robes. You might be in the wrong line of business then. I suppose I could understand how that becomes annoying. Do you have a choice? None whatsoever. I've been expelled from the great library in Preston and forced into this unhappy assignment. I must have done something to annoy them. The preacher's life does not become me.
He's more of a priest than a pastor.
Yes.
I mean a monk than a pastor.
Okay.
He's not a parish priest sort. He's used to the monastic lifestyle.
Yeah. Or, yeah, I'll leave it at there. The only thing I would less rather do than take up the responsibility of a parish is stagger around a wicked wood in the dead of night with a complete stranger, risking mortal injury by unknown assassins. Speaking of which, we should be keeping our eyes on the woods. We shall do the children no favors at all if we get ourselves killed before we find them. Let us move on. Carefully. Okay, more tutorials. Is that Grace giving us the tutorial? I think it is.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Spirit Engine 2. These brief tutorial messages will hopefully help you learn the game's controls. If you'd like to skip any tutorial, left-click on Finish Tutorial or press the S key. Otherwise, left-click Continue or press the A key. Okay, that's just annoying. A controls the right button, S controls the left button. I'm already upset. I understand that A means advance and S means skip, but still. This button, or the apostrophe key, really? The apostrophe key? Opens the game menu. This isn't available right now, but will be in a few minutes. These little icons represent the state of your characters. Their state affects their capabilities in combat. To view the effects of a character's state, place your mouse cursor over the icon once this tutorial is over. Sometimes if a character has something to say, their icon may flash. If you would like to hear it, left-click on the icon. You may move your intrepid party left or right by clicking and holding the left mouse button in the direction you wish to travel, or by holding left and right keys. I'll probably be using the keys. To make your characters run, move the mouse cursor to the edge of the screen, or hold down the control key. Head right now. Alright, let's run. No running. Running! Okay. Your characters have just engaged combat. Dun dun dun! Your objective is to knock out all opposing creatures. Beware, if all your characters are knocked out instead, you will lose the fight. Okay, standard RPG there. Characters and creatures are knocked out if their health counter reaches 0. Your characters and opposing creatures will slowly recover while they're knocked out, and will return to combat after a short period on the ground. That is annoying. Your characters fight using skill chains. Okay, so these are the skill chains that I heard about. A skill chain is a repeated sequence of one or more skills. Okay.
Because of the way it works, I view the ideal way of playing this game just to make skill chains of a single skill, because you're actually allowed to swap them out in the middle of combat. So you just pause, swap things out when you need to change what they're doing, rather than try and anticipate some stupid sequenced mixture of different skills.
Okay. Good to know. Using a skill requires energy, represented by this bar. Energy recharges over time. I would expect it to. These buttons allow you to select skill chains for individual characters. You may right-click on one to bring up a list of available skill chains, and then assign one to the button by selecting it with a left click.
So as I said, you can swap them out freely during battle, so take advantage of that.
Okay. The character will immediately switch to and perform that skill chain. To use or restart that skill chain again in the future, left-click again on the button. Alternatively, right-click and hold the mouse button on a character to bring up a menu, and quickly select a single skill. Shortly, you'll be able to access the skill menu and create your own skill chains. For now, however, let your characters fight by themselves. Okay.
These monsters literally cannot do anything, so this is...
Alright. Mega Plus. Okay. Pulling up the skill chains by themselves.
Incidentally, you can adjust the speed at which the battle moves based on the controls in the bottom right.
Good idea. Let's go grab the cheetah. Okay, this is really annoying. They keep reviving, but they revive with less and less HP. My party have fought 3 foes and have been victorious. They earned 36 experience points. 12 plus 12.
Losing that fight would take some doing.
Yeah, it really would. Also, I do like how Mauritius is praying and has a silver halo, but not a gold halo. And Furwin is standing brave and tall. Okay. Let's keep going.
Folk flapping in the possibly non-existent breeze.
Yep. Hail there. I'm glad to see friendly faces. I need your assistance. You must be the lady from the village whom the mayor mentioned. It's good to see you. I'm Furwin Talbot, and this is Father Mauritius Weiss. Goodness, General Winters. It's an honor to meet the hero of the Amaran Uprising in person, ma'am. No uniform, no title, Father. Please, just call me Grace. I've held no rank for 3 years now. What do you need help with, ma'am? Has your search met with any success? Yes, I've found one of the children. She stumbled into the grasp of a large creature dwelling in the old fountain here. It hasn't harmed her yet, thank God. I've spoken with the girl at a distance and tried to reassure her, but I don't know how long we have before it decides to make a meal of her. She is understandably quite frightened. The beast has already mauled one of our mysterious assassins and left him for dead. I was about to run back to the village for help when I heard you approach through the undergrowth. It will take all 3 of us to drive back the creature and free her. Follow me, we don't have much time. Okay, literally right there. And she continues to be our tutorial character. Oh! Anyways, remember her biography?
Yeah?
She lectures at various educational institutions.
Yes, she does.
The tutorial box is one of them. As your characters are hit during combat, it is wise to rotate them to spread the damage and keep them from being knocked out. You may do this by pressing the space key. Alternatively, you may left-click on a character and send them to the front of the group, or middle-click them to send them to the back. Okay. Left-click to take them to the right, middle-click to take them to the left. Thank you very much, nonsensical controls. There are 5 types of damage in the Spirit Engine 2. Piercing damage is blue, concussive is yellow, magical is purple, ethereal damage is gray, and absolute damage is white. Okay. Piercing blue, I'm definitely not going to remember that. Piercing blue, concussive yellow, magic purple I might remember, ethereal gray, and absolute damage white.
Ethereal is mostly poison and stuff.
Oh, not what I would have expected, but that works. Okay. Your characters and opposing creatures may resist damage using skills, items, and natural resistances. Hold your mouse over a character or creature to view a pop-up window showing damage modifiers. These buttons allow you to select party chains in the same way as individual skill chains. Party chains apply to all 3 of your characters instead of just one. You may only have one available right now, but you'll be able to create more shortly.
And I never do, because what I would suggest is switching Grace to aimed shot, since this is a large enemy, and aimed shot has bonus damage versus large enemies, so rather than swapping between aim and flash, just keep on using aimed shot, which is a piercing damage, but the bonus damage versus large more than makes up for that.
Oh, very nice. Let's see, is there maybe something aimed shot? A ranged attack skill which does 30% extra damage to large foes. Deals piercing damage. Yeah, so it resists by 20, or hang on.
Yeah.
Minus 22, minus 10%. Would you mind explaining that for me?
I don't remember what the order of operations is, but it's a flat reduction of 22 and a reduction of overall of 10%.
Oh, okay. So it stacks.
Right. I just don't remember the order of operations for these.
Sure. Fair enough, fair enough. But okay, yeah, so definitely aim flash is the winner here, because 30% bonus damage is going to overpower that. Targeted assistance skill, which the affected target suffers from reduced armor and resistances. Hey, that's actually not a bad choice. Support. Wait, what? What just happened?
You clicked on support, so you changed his smite and support are currently multi-skill chains, which is annoying, but you'll get a chance to fix it. Smite is a combination of Dam and Wrath. I don't remember what Hack Plus is.
Okay. Hack, well, the first one is charge.
And then you hack.
Okay. If I just hack, close combat attack skill, which strikes twice, deals piercing damage. Piercing has some resistance. Oh, is that just showing... The white just shows which one's selected, it's not actually white.
Right.
I got it. Okay. There's my confusion coming in. Smite, targeted assistance skill, while affected target suffers from reduced armor. I did want to go with Smite for now. Support. Target characters, party level...
I think support is probably Blessing and Heal. But I don't remember off the top of my head because I get rid of these stupid multi-skill chains as soon as I get the chance.
Okay.
Try right-clicking. It might have...
oh, yes, it does.
Cool. Yeah, it's a single thing. So you could do Wrath or Dam individually if you wanted. Wrath is Mauritius's main attack.
Range skill, 25% extra damage.
On Undead and Demonic, which this is not, but deals magical damage, which this resists less than some other things. At least it has no flat reduction.
No flat reduction, but it does have the 20%. So. I unfortunately don't know how much damage it's doing, so...
You could put him on... You could put him on Dam... Why don't you put him on Smite, which is a combination of Dam and Wrath, which will reduce its resistances, and then follow up with... I think this looks probably good for...
Aimed? Or aimed
yeah,
flush?
just aimed shot. Just aimed.
Okay. And how about here? For Hack? Hack Plus? Or Hack?
Right-click and see if he has Smite. Not Smite. No, he doesn't have, I'd just go with Hack, honestly.
Hack it is. Hack, Smite, and aimed shot. Okay. Let's go. Oh no, she took damage.
He just took 56 concussive. Why don't you stick Mauritius in front? You see that 270? That's called Chi, which absorbs damage for him before he takes any health damage, and it recharges over time. Each class has a different primary defensive capability, and Chi is what priests rely on. But we'll see once we actually get a chance to go into skill. I think we're going to win this one.
I think so too. Alright. My party have fought one foe and been victorious. They earned 360 experience points. The party gains 2 levels. What is Grace doing with her hand?
She's just fidgeting, I think.
I guess.
She's leaning on her gun and sort of...
stretching out her wrist, maybe?
Yeah.
Recovering from the kickback? From the recoil?
Yeah.
Isabel. It is Isabel, isn't it? Can you hear me? She is right there, Furwin. Yes, I'm Isabel. Hello, mister. How do you do? I'm doing just fine. Thank you, miss. But we're more worried about you. Are you hurt? I think I'm okay. Just scared. Is the monster gone? I've no idea. The well is deep and dark, and I can't see far down in it. We heard it, though. There's ichor dripping down the walls. Is it ichor or ichor?
I think it's Ichor.
Ichor, there we go. I'm pretty sure I've only seen that read. Never heard it.
See the corpse standing behind... Well, not standing behind Grace. Behind Grace, incidentally.
Yep, right there.
Yep. That's one of the 3 assassins.
Okay, I guess for people on stream, right there, for Nweis, I'm pointing above the flower, and when I point to it here for Nweis, you're looking at the skip button. Wonderful, I'll try to avoid the mouse then. Okay. Our dolls said we were safe from the monsters so long as he was with us. The men in the masks, they wouldn't stop stabbing him, and Elay and I ran away. Where is our doll?
About that.
About that. I'm so sorry, Isabel. He must have fought bravely, but he was found dead. There wasn't anything that could be done. He told us to leave him, but we didn't want to. And now he's... We should probably move along. I can't tell whether this thing is dead or not, but I don't think we should be here when it comes back. Isabel, where is your brother? Did he come this way too? I don't know. Elay and I were running together, then I tripped, and... It's going to be alright, Isabel. You're in safe hands now. We're not going to let anything happen to you. Stay behind us, and we'll go find him together. You now have access to the menu system, which allow you to manage your party. Click this button or press the space key to open it. On the skill menu, you can adjust the number of skill points allocated to each skill. Skill points earned from experience and gained in battle. The more skill points are invested in a skill, the more powerful it becomes. You may left-click on skill to invest a skill point in it. And also refund a skill point using refund points. To do this, right-click on a skill. Refund points are earned every time you win a battle. Huh. Skills may not be assigned a number of skill points greater than 1/4 of the level of your character. Since the benefit gained from each additional skill point decreases and your characters will encounter a variety of challenges on their journey, it's wise to invest in a range of useful skills.
Now, if you want, I can provide what advice I would give for party build in this.
Oh, please. More than happy to hear.
Okay, you want capability for magical, concussive, and piercing damage, all three. Mauritius is probably going to be your primary magical dealer. He starts with Wrath. He starts with 2 points in Wrath. Wrath is a pretty powerful magical skill. I would not bother with Strike, so I would refund from Strike. And at this point, since Blessing is sort of fiddly, what I'd do is invest in his defensive skills, which are Fortitude and Chosen. So if you hover over them, you can see the description.
Okay. Priest Health, a defensive ability which determines the number of hit points and amount of chi this character has. Chi absorbs piercing and concussive damage only. Okay. 149 from skill points, 0 from item, 320 from skill points. Okay, Chosen. A passive ability which grants magical and ethereal resistance. Magical resistance. Wait a second. I see magical with a C and a magical with a CK. Pick which one you are, game. I may have been one of the editors for Super Robot Wars GameCube translation, so I kind of gotten into a bit of an obsessive editing mode.
I think you can probably cap both of his defensive skills, actually, because...
Yep. Is to the cap? Or, yeah, oh yeah, there it is. He's level 8 priest. I didn't see where the level was.
But if you look at Dam and Wrath, you can see the armor reduction, so it reduces the flat reduction by 17 and reduces percentage reduction by 7. And Wrath, you can see how much damage it does, and the 84 damage, 25% extra on undead or demonic.
Cool.
Now go to his skill chains and edit them, because...
Create your own skill chains! You may left-click on any skill chain slot, named or unnamed, to select it. Current skill chain is displayed across the bottom of the screen. To add or change a skill, you may left-click once on the icon and left-click again to the menu, which is to select the skill. Restart icon indicates return to the start of the skill chain. A pause icon indicates that the character will wait for a short period before continuing. This is the wait option toggle. Left-click to enable or disable it for the skill chain. When enabled, the character will always wait for your command before beginning a skill chain. This may be useful when timing a combination of skills or putting a character into overdrive. Cool, things that I don't know about yet. When the wait option flashes, this means the current skill chain cannot be carried out before the character runs out of energy, even if it begins when the character is at their maximum. At 1 or more points, the character will have to stop and recharge to finish the chain. You may click the rename chain to give your skill chain a name. To delete a skill chain, select it and press the delete key.
So what I would suggest is remove Smite and Support because they suck.
Okay, can I just... Support, Strike, Dam, Wrath, Blessing. Okay.
Now, what I would do for Blessing, and not that you're going to be using it much with how I'm suggesting you build him, but I would make 2 chains for Blessing because of the way Blessing targeting works. So go back to...
there seems to be... Okay, I'll just make... Oh, and you need to select a target.
Yes, so I do a...
Blessing
so
Furwin.
name this... Yeah, Blessing Furwin.
Bless Fur. This one was already Blessing Furwin. Bless and Grace. Right?
Yeah.
Rename Bless Grace. Father, could you say Grace, please? Okay, and we've got...
then if you...
Strike Dam
For
Rat.
Dam, I think Dam... are there targeting options? So
Target
click
the
on
selected enemy.
Dam, and I've normally used selected enemy for it, but you could change it to nearest if you...
You know what? I'm gonna leave it at nearest. And if things ever get to the point that it's actually a little bit challenging...
Wrath
then...
is automatically nearest.
Yep.
There's some...
And Strike's obviously going to be nearest.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Inventory. Inventory allows you to manage your items your characters are carrying. Items can give your characters bonuses to their armor and resistances, their damage, individual skills, and even some special effects. You may place the mouse cursor over an item to view its properties. Equip or not equip an item. To drop an item, left click. To drop an item, middle click, or place your mouse cursor over and press the delete key. Gnarled Oaken Staff. Base damage 3. Light armor. Piercing -16. Concussive -16. Magical -7. And it's a CK magical here.
Incidentally, the base damage from his staff, given how we're going to be playing Mauritius, is basically irrelevant. So just look for other effects on staves, because...
Almost got tripped up by the plural of staff. The Word of Garl. Scripture. Piercing -8, concussive -8, magical -8. Okay.
So it's extra armor.
Yep. He's armored with the Word of Garl. Garl? That kills people! Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You know Carl the Llama, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
I'll agree with the unfortunate part. The journal section contains a diary entry for each party member. Use it to look up your party's current objective or read your character's thoughts on the situation.
It's
Nice.
occasionally interesting, but I keep on forgetting to check it.
Entry number 1. Rescue the children. Another day of wandering has led my restless feet further from a tawny edge when the Lord saw fit to give me a purpose. 2 poor children have been pursued into the twisted depths of Bluefeather Forest by the blades of wicked assassins, and I was amongst a handful who could help them. In the depths of my stupor, I hesitated for a moment as fear gnawed upon my soul. Through the protestations of those around me, the Lord granted me the strength to go to their aid and help these 2 strangers whose company I now keep. We headed east into the forest. Hey!
Through the Protestants of those around me.
Ooh! Okay, let's take a peek at Furwin. Fortitude. That is his defensive skill. Determines number of hit points. He's got 396 from skill points. Might. Passive attribute which grants additional armor and combat damage to the user. Hack and slay damage increases. Thunderstrike increases. Or Thunderstrike.
I love might. I love might.
I admit I'm a kind of person that always loves passive skills, so max it out.
Yeah.
There we go. Anything here we should
What I would do is charge is gonna be sort of fiddly, so I'd rather remove the skill point from charge and apply it to hack, which is currently going to be his primary
Yeah.
Although, I'd be tempted to swap him from hack to slay when he unlocks slay, but it's not yet.
Okay. And hopefully by then we'll have some more free refund points, so we could mess around then. Okay.
Hack plus should go away.
That it should. Hack is a single Thunderstrike, recover, charge. Nice and simple. I don't think he has anything special he needs, no?
Thunderstrike is just target selected now, which is frankly good.
Yeah, can't even change it, so it doesn't matter.
You may want to look at the effect of, incidentally, the green slot for each class is their unique class support item. Each class has a different sort of item it holds in the green slot.
In the skill slot, you mean? The green skill?
In inventory.
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 Okay. So he's got a small shield. piercing and concussive. That's not what his sprite shows he's carrying. Iron breastplate, heavy armor, usable by Furwin, piercing, concussive, magical. Sword, base damage 3. Not a lot of damage. Okay. Entry number 1. Rescue the children. Dear Marie, I have trained and sparred much under my father's orders these past 5 years, but not until today had I been given a chance to put those skills to use in a manner that could be considered heroic. It was a great thrill, and yet I am horrified that I might find such excitement in another's tragedy. I was traveling the road through Bluefeather Forest last night when I came across a village attacked by assassins who had slain one man and pursued 2 children into the dark woods around us. Accompanied by 2 other charitable strangers, I set out into the gloom to try and find them. Okay. Grace.
Oddly, she starts with more points in flashbang than
Is possible. Interesting.
I would, at the moment, I would get rid of high fire for her and place it in. The base damage for aim shot and high fire is different. High fire can be impeded by low ceilings, but is able to hit behind the front lines. Aim shot only hits the front lines, doesn't care about low ceilings, and does extra damage to large foes, so I tend to use it as my bread and butter attack skill for...
84 from skill points, 84 from skill points. Interesting. Okay, so same amount of damage. Deals piercing damage, just without the bonus. Okay. Removed. Tossed onto aimed shots.
And then I'd stick stuff in her 2 primary defensive skills, which are Lucky Lady and Fortitude.
Passive attributes, which provide the character with a chance to dodge attacks. Dodge 34%. And now it's 35. Fortitude. Defensive attribute, which determines the number of HP the character has. 284. And now it's 313. Okay, that's hers. Aim flash. Goodbye. Aimed shot. Flashbang. Smoke screen. High fire. Cool.
Alright.
Inventory. Gunshot belt. Piercing bonus +6. Padded jerkin. Oh, so she's got the same thing, Mauritius. I didn't even look at that. Light armor usable by Mauritius and Grace. And a training musket. Why is a general... Okay, I guess retired general. Carrying a training musket.
That 6 points of piercing damage, incidentally, is applied to all attacks she does, but it will basically be eaten by the flat reduction of basically everything unless she's using a piercing attack, But using a piercing attack, she'll do more damage because of the 6 bonus damage. Make sense?
I'm not sure we were getting the 6 bonus damage.
The gunshot belt.
The gunshot belt. There we go. Piercing bonus +6. Got it. Journal. Entry number 1. Rescue the children. Resting in the inn of a walking village on the road to Glendeneth, I found myself at the center of a murderous pursuit as 3 citizens, 2 of them children, were attacked mere yards from where I was sleeping and driven into the woods. Woken by the noise and dressing quickly, I formed what little I could find of the town militia into several groups and deployed them in search of the surrounding area.
She organized the search. Figures. She'd know how.
She would. I thought you were going to make a joke about the organized militia. So yeah, a random bit of trivia. In the United States, the organized militia is the National Guard, and the unorganized militia, which is recognized by law, is every able-bodied male between the ages of 17 and 45. Okay. Formed with little I could find. Surrounding areas. I struck out alone, but with my tracking skills blunted by the passing of the years, I was just beginning to fear my decision had proved unwise, when reinforcements arrived from the village in the unlikely form of 2 strangers, who volunteered their services. We pressed on into the forest. Party. Level 8. Experience. Oh, okay. Party chains. The Party skill chain menu allows you to create skill chains, which coordinate all 3 of your characters. They work in much the same way as regular skill chains, except they now run parallel.
I don't see the point, really.
All skills cool down at the same rate, including the pause action. This means that parallel skills will be performed simultaneously, unless one of your characters runs out of energy and has to stop to recharge. If you'd like to create long party skill chains, careful placement of pauses may be required to manage this. For details on individual options and controls, see the tutorial for the individual skill chains.
I literally never touched this screen because why should I? Because...
Fair enough. Now let's see, actually. No, do not exit to menu. How would one save? Or can it only be done at the end of a chapter?
Click on the menu. Oh, no. I remember, there's save points.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, in that case, this has already been going on for 55 minutes.
The save point should be very close, actually.
Very close? Okay. Then let's run to it. Wow. You are not joking about very close. You may save your party's progress at these save statues. To do so, walk up to the statue and left-click on the circular S icon which appears. Then choose from one of the available save slots by left-clicking it. You may right-click to cancel if you do not wish to save. Okay. Oops. Yes. Nope. I need to click on it. Slot 1.
And that serpent, that the statue is actually the armorial beast of Loreftane. So that's why there's so many statues of them.
Ah. Interesting. What does that say? It doesn't say anything. But yeah.
That means you're going to the next zone.
Next zone. Perfect. So I think this is a perfect place to wrap up this episode. Thank you, Nweis, for joining me, co-hosting, and teaching me about this game. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And yeah, as always, like, follow, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Rumble and Odyssey if you like to support alt tech. And yeah, that's about it. That's a wrap for this episode. Yeah, Nweis, any last words?
I just love that big orange moon in the background. Honestly, just the art for the Blue Feather Forest is a good introduction to how charming the art is in this game.
Yeah, that moon really is lovely. I do need to grant you that.
And I like the bright star just on the edge of the...
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Right there, right under the cloud. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. We'll be wrapping it up here. See you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye now.